The U.S. Army is now arming its Bradley fighting vehicle with Stinger anti-aircraft missile in an effort to further develop what they call SHORAD, short-range air defense. During the Cold War, it was heavily emphasized. However, naturally, during the last 15 years of counterinsurgency and ground wars against Iraqi insurgents and Taliban, there is not much of a need to address an air threat, as there was no air threat. Currently, the Bradley fires what's called a TOW missile, which is a heavier anti-armor, anti-tank weapon, and that primarily is used for mechanized forces and even counterinsurgency in a ground-to-ground type of application. The Stinger missile, by comparison, is actually much longer range and much more damaging to potential enemy drones or helicopter threats or even low-flying aircraft. One of the things the Army wants to do is better position itself for major rivals or near-peer threats on the European continent and elsewhere in the world, and enable moving infantry and maneuvering forces to have an ability to better address proliferation of drone threats around the world. Continues to pose a significant problem for the U.S. Army as it looks at other countries and potential rival nations who could fly even unmanned systems in proximity to attacking them. This will be a short-range assessment with the possibility of further and more significantly arming the Bradley with Stinger anti-aircraft missiles. They have longer ranges, which is about 8 kilometers, and they have a thermal imaging or heat-seeking ability. Much unlike a TOW, it has a much longer ability to attack flying aircraft, helicopters, and other kinds of air threats. Army senior leaders do tell Warrior Maven they are looking at expanding the SHORAD technology and the anti-aircraft weaponry across a wider swath of its force, which would include, of course, mechanized vehicles like the Bradley. Kris Osborn, Warrior Maven.